My name is Estefania Ramirez, and I have been involved in a serious dance environment now for 29 years, and I am embarking in my 26th year as working as a flamenco dancer and dance educator. I've always wanted to be a dancer since I was a child. I've known since maybe I was 3 or 4 years old that dance really excites me, and have just been impassioned by by music and dance. And then later, when I was studying dance at the University of New Mexico, I witnessed flamenco song and dance for the first time, and I was taken by it. So from that time, when I was about 18 years old, I realized that I wanted to not only be a dancer, but I wanted to be a flamenco dancer. I always studied different dance forms since the age of 3.5. And when I was 17 years old, I debuted at the Royal Albert Hall in London, England. And shortly after that, I was awarded a dance scholarship to the University of New Mexico, where initially I thought I was going to study modern dance with icon Bill Evans. And I realized there, when I saw flamenco for the first time, that what I really wanted to do was learn flamenco and perform flamenco and dedicate all of my being to the art form of flamenco song and dance. So at that point, I performed with the UNM dance company, Modern Dance and Flamenco Works. And then shortly after that, began performing with Pablo Rodarte Dance España company, where I did my first US tour. And then I was fortunate enough to be scouted by legendary Maria Benitez, and I started to work with Maria. And with Maria, I was offered a plethora of opportunities. First, to work with a company of Spaniards, and we performed for PBS the evening at the Pops with the Boston Pops, Jacob's Pillow, many national tours. And in between contracts with Maria, I would spend time in Spain training and furthering the craft. And at a certain point, I relocated to Spain, lived in Spain for over 13 years, where during that time I continued to study and to work and establish myself as a professional in Spain as a dance educator and performer. I had the opportunity to perform with the Cuadro Flamenco of Maestro José Galván in Sevilla and throughout Andalusia. And I also had opportunity to work for the Ministerio, or the Board of Education and Culture, on the east coast of Spain, where I created K-9 curriculum dance education for public schooling. And then at some point after that, I came back to the United States to work with Maria Benitez again around 2005. And when I returned with Maria, I began a relationship with my husband and partner, Antonio Granjero. And from that point on, we started to operate Entre Flamenco, which is a nonprofit organization that we have based since 2009 here in the United States. And we perform up to, on a regular year, in a regular situation, up to 97 performances per year here in Santa Fe. And paralleling the work that I do with Entre Flamenco, since 2008, I have frequently performed with Carlota Santana Flamenco Vivo, where I worked under the artistic direction of Antonio Hidalgo. And I've had many wonderful opportunities to perform works of other artists such as Juan Andres Maya or Susana de Palma under the artistic direction of Antonio Hidalgo. And I've also had the opportunity to work one-on-one as a protagonist in the dance drama of Sor Juana Inés by Belén Maya. All of the lessons that I've learned along the way have been important, but a few key lessons that I've learned along the way that are important is, one is to treat the stage with respect. To respect the art form, to respect the dance profession, to respect stepping on stage and taking full responsibility of being fully prepared in all aspects to share the experience with your audience member, never underestimate your audience, never underestimate the work, the time and effort that you need to put in to represent the art form of flamenco. The other important lesson that I've learned along the way is that flamenco is not just a dance form, it is a living culture. So unlike other dance styles, we have to learn the dance etiquette, and flamenco has a different set of standards in dance etiquette compared to classical ballet or other Western style dance forms. So the lesson to treat flamenco not as just a series of dance steps or music terminology, but to treat it as a full-on culture of language, tradition, and always take into consideration that it is a way of life for some people, for those people that are the Andalusian people that are from southern Spain, where flamenco comes from. Learn the language. You have to be able to fully understand and have an above and beyond level of comprehension of the Spanish language, and specifically to terminology of the Andalus or Andalusian way of speaking Spanish. So learn the language, learn the culture, go to Spain, live there, and don't invest all of your time and funds in a dance class or in a dance studio. That's very important and it's crucial. But what's even more important is to have a really deep understanding of the social, political background and history of the country of Spain. It's important to have an idea of where the people come from, how they live, how they celebrate, how they manifest flamenco in the different shapes and forms. That's really, really important. And then another important tip that I would really like to stress is to pay your dues as a dancer. We cannot learn flamenco in 6 months or a year. We cannot start with the sevillanas and then day 2 go on to a seguiria. We have to learn the traditional repertoire and really climb that ladder, because it is an oral tradition. So all of those wonderful pieces of traditional repertoire within the flamenco genre are all of those ABCs, and those building blocks are so important. Take the time, don't be in a rush. Being a flamenco dancer is a lifelong journey, so don't be in a hurry and enjoy. I have been staying in shape by walking. I walk every day 3 to 4 miles. Sometimes those are just regular walks. Other times I'm fortunate to live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I have mountain ranges, so I can go on great hikes as well. And then I also exercise by practicing and virtually teaching, preparing video clips. So I have to invest time into the curriculum that I work and share with students. So that's also counted as exercise as well. Flamenco is important to me because it is my profession, it's my passion, it's my hobby, it's my everything. It creates a vehicle for me to be able to transport my feelings through vocabulary of traditional movement and music terminology. That vehicle incites exploration of movement and feeling, and I'm able to share that with those that study with me or come to see me perform. I'm able to share that with other collaborating artists whenever we're on stage and we're working on a project. So it gives me a sense of well-being and a sense of purpose to be able to share all of the knowledge that I can with others and help enrich the life of others. The second part of the question, why is flamenco important in today's world? Flamenco is really important in today's world to bring together community. We're in such a divided position right now where folks have different types of political ideology, and I think that an art form brings people together, whether it's reading a book, watching a movie, listening to a piece of music, observing a piece of a painting or photography. And I think that flamenco contributes to our day-to-day society on an individual basis by bringing a heightened sense of well-being. And I think as a community, and to especially as a tool of education, that it brings together a series of resources, practicing mathematic ideas, applying language, applying movement and space, spatial awareness, social, emotional development. I think all of those ideas bring positivity to our day-to-day life, to our local communities, near and far, and to the world in general.